the Jeep store.
Yeah. How about when it comes to mental health and the deputies and the other employees of the county? What's something that the public should understand as far as what deputies are facing and and what's being done to help them in their mental health?
Well, certainly we have. I mean, I've seen things over 40 years that I'm not going to unsee. Mm-hmm. They're in my head, and every police officer, and this goes for corrections as well. They're going to see. They're going to see things that are going to stick with them, and how that impacts you is going to be differently. So we have programs. We have through the county emergency assistance where they can reach out and talk to people, or even get in-person assistance if they're having problems dealing with something mentally. And then we have our own in-house critical incident stress management team if we're coming off the tail end of an incident, just like with Lieutenant Burgess being hit the other day and almost killed. Our system team was quick to reach out to make sure that if there were any deputies that were feeling anxious or just wanted to talk to somebody, that resource is there for them.
Yeah.
So we can direct them down a professional path, or just an in-house things with trained deputies to know that they're human beings. And that's what I hope the public realizes. I think something we often lose sight of when you see, this police officer died here today, this police officer died here today. These are human beings, and they have friends and family. Yeah. And there are people who are greatly, you work with somebody for a long time, you're impacted. Whether you realize it or not, you're impacted by that loss.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the courage that it takes alone for somebody to run into the fire or I mean, basically anytime you're seeking a criminal, you're seeing them on their worst day.
Sure.
And going into a situation like that, there's got to be just a level of stress, that...
Well, absolutely. It's a stressful job, and people think that we resisted like body cameras. I think the body cameras, I think our men and women, we love the body cameras, but it gives us another opportunity to show that the incredible job that is being done.
Yeah.
And it's funny, they were brought about to find, just like the in-car cameras back in the 90s, if you put in-car cameras in police cars, you were going to see how bad these cops were, and it was going to uncover how unjust the whole thing is. And it showed completely the opposite.
Yeah.
It showed that they're out there doing a great job and putting good cases together, putting bad guys in jail. So the thinking of those who were anti-police was, well, that's the in-car camera's not showing it, so we got to put the body camera on. And it showed the exact same thing. They expected a different result. They got the exact same result. It shows the great job that our men and women do across this country every day. And there is no other profession that you can put a body camera on, maybe real estate, but I got to say, there is no other profession.
So, because there has been over the past few years some stigmas that police are bad and they're not doing their job right or whatever. How do you guys go about keeping your guys motivated that, hey, you guys are doing a phenomenal job?
Well, I think first and foremost, and we meet, we're the largest sheriff's office in the state of Maryland, but we're not so large where I can't meet with our new employees on their first day. If I'm available, if I'm not, then the first day I am available after. I meet with every man and woman that's hired, whether it's a civilian, whether it's sworn law enforcement or sworn corrections. Mm-hmm. And that conversation entails a whole bunch. It's my welcome aboard, welcome to the Harford County Sheriff's Office family. Please don't make me fire you, because I will fire you in a second for lying. Integrity will get you fired.
Yeah.
Things like, if we had it, racial discrimination, sexual harassment, those are going to get you fired too. We haven't had to fire anybody for that. I've had to fire more than I wish for integrity violations.
Yeah.
So, I tell them we can police ourselves. But another thing I tell them is that, hey, there's police chiefs and sheriffs around the country who say, hey, when you're out there doing the right thing, we're going to stand behind you.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that's a heck of a lift. Wow, that's not difficult at all.
Right.
But we're going to stand behind our men and women when they're out there and they're trying to do the right thing. They're trying to abide by our policies. They're trying to abide by Maryland law, and it just goes wrong. The best laid plans often go wrong.
Yeah.
We're going to stand behind them. And there's been several examples of that where we have. We're going to, my fight with the Attorney General and reference to shooting up in Forest Hill where an individual lost his life and there was police gunfire. We stood up, and that's the only place in this state, sense, and I don't want to
Yeah.
go down that road again, but where we did our own investigation and we found the flaws that were done in the independent investigation, that's standing behind your men and women. And that hasn't been done anywhere else in the state. So again, we're going to stand behind our men and women if they're out there, they're doing the right thing, or they're trying to do the right thing and it just goes bad. And I tell them all, if you've come here because you're lateraling here, or you're going to become a police officer because you don't care what the policies say, you don't care what the law says, you found the wrong place, because
Correct.
we're going to find you and remove you.
Yeah.
And that's not the problem. What we have a problem with is people deciding to tell what I describe as little white lies to get out of minor disciplinary issues, and it costs them a career, because once you lie, I can't use you in court.
Can't trust you. Yeah, right, right.
And I will say, to our civilians' credit, I don't know of any other, I'm sure they're out there, but I don't know of anyone off the top of my head. We hire our civilians to the exact same standard. They do a polygraph, they do a background, they do a psych. They are, other than the PT part for the sworn law enforcement and corrections, our civilians are hired at the exact same standard, the exact same background, and have to meet the same requirements. And I think all that together is why we hire the best, and they go out and they do a great job for our citizens, and that shows in the surveys that we've done by an independent survey agency, not just something on a just that, hey, I found your stolen car. Can you fill out this survey and say what a great job I did? Which is what you get around some jurisdictions.
Leave a Google review.
Yes.
Yeah.
So did you like this episode of the TMA Connection? Well, you might want to check this one out right here. Go ahead, click it.